Okay, so I'll walk you through this, how to set this sheet up properly. Um, Let me just locate this document. Okay, so here we'll be looking at how to get these graphs set up on the left hand side. So once you're done with this, once you add in all these keywords, what you need to do is go into this specific sheet over here, and then there are different formulas which are attached to this thing right now. Okay, so this is directly coming from the, so when you click on this, you'll be able to see the formula on top. So this is coming from the A2 sheet, Deaf Counseling A2. So it is picking it up directly from A2, which is Deaf Counseling sheet. So if you go to Deaf Counseling and you go to A2, this is the term which is being picked up over there. Okay, so this is Deaf Counseling terms. So here you don't have to do anything. All you need to do is make sure that in this tab the name on the second row is the right name for that specific sheet, and it will be populated over here. Now for this low projection and high projection, right now we and the actual, so we are not worried about the actual at this point. Okay, now let's go to this tab first. This is going to show the number of keywords in a specific sheet. So it shows the count of the keywords which are there in a specific in the specific keyword data. So for example, if I double click on this, it shows count A keyword data from A10 to A25,000. Okay, and this is from, and count the number of keywords over there. Okay, so that is what it does over here. Alright, so if I click on enter, it will automatically give a list of keywords in that specific sheet. And now what it's doing is it is collecting this information from keywords data tab. Okay, so this name over here, keywords data, so as you can actually, if I double click on this, you'll be able to see keywords data, and then from A10 to A25,000, and count the number of keywords over there. Okay, so that's how it does that. So for example, if I go back to keywords data, I can see there are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 keywords over here, and that is what has been captured over here. So you have to make sure that this name keywords data is exactly same as the name of this specific sheet. Okay, now this thing, the low average, the low projection and high projection. Okay, so even here you have formulas right now. So if I double click on this, it shows Deaf Counseling and then D$1030. So 1030 is the specific cell from which this value is being picked up. So now if you go to Deaf Counseling, to this specific sheet and go to 1030 cell number, you will see this specific value, right? So let's go to 1030. Okay, so we have this value over here, and at this point, since we are not really analyzing what is the actual traffic to the website, it is 0 at this point. So we are not really worried about this one. The second one is Deaf Counseling H1030. Okay. So now if I go to H over here and then I look at 1030, it shows me 14, right? So now this value has to reflect over here. So it shows 14, right? So which is correct, right? And then high projection. So what is the high projection and what is the low projection? So this is all based on if you're ranking on the first page on 10th rank. In that case, how much traffic can you get for those list of keywords? And then this one actually shows the traffic, the amount of traffic that the organization can get for all this 8 keywords over here. Okay, and it is actually present in R1030. So if you go to R over here, you can see it is 23. So this is where it is picking it from, and here is what it shows. So if you're ranking on the 5th position, for example, okay, in that case you will receive 23 visitors from Google for a specific month for that category of keywords. Alright, so now what you need to do is go and change this, right? So here you can see there are 14 which is already being reflected, and then you have 23 which is reflected in the high projection. Here you will have to manually change this. So for example, Deaf Counseling, I will change this to Deaf Counseling Terms Opportunity. Okay, and this will change to 8 keywords. So this is something that has to be done manually over here. Okay, once you do this, it actually picks up the data from here. Okay, now there will be cases where you will have to make this specific table yourself. So let's do that. Let's actually create a copy of one of these tabs, and then we will make a copy of this table as well. Okay, so this specific chart actually uses different formula which has to be changed whenever you replicate this. Okay, so let me go to the end of the sheet. Now see, you're out of these tabs. You have added all the categories and now you want to create a new tab over here, right? So what you need to do is copy this. So I will say move or copy, and then click on create a copy. Okay, and then it will ask you where do you want to insert this. So you can say before, you can either move it to end or before instructions. So I will move it before instructions, and I'll click on OK. So I have the MS2 over here. Now let me take a specific category from Deaf Counseling. Let's say I take up hard of hearing, for example. Okay, so you have all these keywords data. So what I will do is I will go back over here and I will duplicate this keywords tab. I will say move or copy for this, and again and then click on this. Make sure that you're clicking on create a copy, otherwise it will just move it to the end of it, and we don't want to just move, but we want to create a copy at this point. So move it before instructions and then click on OK. So you have keyword data 11. Now I will rename this to keyword data 12. Okay, and in here I'm going to add all these keywords. So I'll take this list, copy it and paste it over here, and then I'll take this value and paste it over here. Okay, now ideally, just before I move ahead, you want to make sure that when you're copying from this place, you have already sorted this list. Okay, so for example, if I go to any of the other categories where the list is not sorted, right? So here the list is not sorted at this point, so I will say largest to smallest. So now I can see all these numbers, and then you can see the ASL signs over here. So it is all rearranged now, so you don't really have to do anything after this. Once you sort it by this column, it will also sort by these keywords as well. So it will bring the keyword with the highest search volume on the top. Okay. So now once you have copied and pasted this data, you will go back to this. Now I will rename this sheet based on my category name. So let's say my category name was hard of hearing, right? So I will rename this to hard of hearing. Okay, and then I have a lot of keywords now in this specific sheet. Okay, so I need to uncover this, make sure that there are no additional keywords at the bottom, and then I will delete this. So now all these values go back to 0, and then I will copy this, paste it over here. Okay, so now it will start reflecting the search volume. All I have to do is run this specific so it doesn't seem to be working somehow. Okay, so here's the problem right now. So this is what you might be already facing, and you will have to change this formula in this specific sheet. Okay, now you can see, you can look at this formula in this specific cell, and all this formula does is it removes the bracket. Okay, so we don't have any brackets anymore, so this is actually a bit of an old formula, so I will copy and paste it over here, right? So the brackets are removed, but now the volume is not getting updated in this column, and the reason is you have keywords 11, as you can see over here, and keywords 11 is this tab, and we want it to reflect this tab over here, keywords data 12, right? So what I need to do here is change this to 12, okay, and then move ahead and change this to 12, and then press enter. Okay, so now it is going to show me 3600. Now you can even double click this and edit this. Alright, so there are two ways to do this. One is once you come on this cell, you can go over here and make change to that particular formula, or you can double click on this and change the formula over here. So here I can again just make this 12, and my second one is 12, so this is done. Now it is pulling the right data, which is 3600 from here. Okay, Now once I'm back, all I do is go on this corner where it shows me that square box and double click on this, and now my formula will get copied across all of these cells. Alright, now if I go down, there are a lot of these values which are 0, because we have a big list over here. But you can see for all the keyword terms which are there on the list, we have the corresponding value in here. Okay, so now the next step is, since we have too many of these keywords, I want to make sure that I'm able to see the tabs below. So I will double click here, okay, and then drag it down. And once I reach this point, I'm going to right click on this and say hide. Okay, so now I'm able to see the sheets down below. And the sheets are automatically populated with this data. I will quickly unhide this to make sure that we don't have any data from the earlier tab. So I'll just go to the end of it. So you can do a page down, shift page down, or control page down. Okay, so I'm here. So up till 636 I have data inside here, and then it is all 0, and it is hard of hearing. That is what I want to check. I want to make sure that the data here doesn't belong to any other category. Okay, sometimes when you're copying and pasting, the earlier data might just stay over there, so you want to make sure that none of your earlier data is reflected in here. So you don't want to see anything related to for example the tab that you copied it from. Okay, now I will again hide this, so I can say Control Z, and it will automatically go back to how it was before. Okay, and then it will show me all these values over here. If it was ranking on the 10th position, then how much traffic can I get? If it was ranking on 9th position, how much traffic can I get? All this information is in here. Okay, and this is specifically for Google. And then down below you have it for Bing. Okay, and we don't have any data for Bing right now, so it's fine, we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so now so once you are done with this, you have put data inside here, rename this to hard of hearing. Okay, and now go back to your sheet, which is the dashboard, and now we have to make a copy of this. Alright, so let's go down below, and I'm just going to make a copy of this one over here. So I select this table, then do a Control C on this, and then I will go down and press Control V. Okay, now everything is changed. Now since this was a formula, it is reading from BIMISC A19 and it's reading the wrong value, and we don't want that, right? So we will have to change this. We will have to change 0 keywords, so this is incorrect. It is showing the value from the from BIMISC, and this is also coming from BIMISC, so we'll have to change all of this. Okay, So in order to do that, let's start from here. um, this is kind of simple, and now if you go back and if you look in this BIMASC formula, you can double click on it to see the formula, or you can even look over here. Okay, here so you will change this name, and this has to match your sheet name. Okay, so you will have to say hard of hearing. Alright, it seems like I'm making change to my earlier document, so you have to make a change to over here. I will remove this and I will say hard of hearing, and this will be A2. Okay, because we are picking the value from the cell A2. This is A, and then you have 2 over here, so this is coming from A2, and when I press enter, now it is giving me the right value. Okay, because the name of my tab is hard of hearing, so it is giving me the correct value. And now I'll click on this, and I want to get the count of data. All I need to do here, so you can see the formula has keyword data 11 inside it. I will change it to keyword data 12, and it shows 90 keywords, right? So it's that simple. Now coming down over here, this is going to be kind of similar. All I need to do is BIMASC, I will remove this and say hard of hearing. This is the name of my sheet, and from the cell number H1030 I want to get the value, so it shows me the value in that specific cell. And now here I will do the same thing. I will change it to hard of hearing, and it shows me the value 468, right? Okay, now coming back to the chart, now this is going to be, now if you click on this, you can see this data is highlighted over here, right? So you can see total referrals, actual, low projection, and these are the ones which are used to populate this data over here. Now I'm going to make a copy of this. Okay, do a Control C and a Control V. So I do a Control C, come down over here, click in this cell, and do a Control V. Okay, and now I'm going to change this name on the top to hard of hearing opportunity, and then change this to 90 keywords. And now I have to change this data, right, because it is reflecting the data from the earlier table. So now I need to change this data. So I'll right click on this, okay, and then select data. Alright, now it's, so you can see it is picking it up from here, and it's getting highlighted. Okay, so now what I will do is I will change this to reflect the data from 183 and 184. So my data will come from 200 and 201, right? So all I need to do is 183 I will change to 200. Okay, and then the second data I will change to 201, and then click on OK. Alright, there you go. So all you have to do is update these row numbers in the data, and you will get this reflected data over here. That's it. Okay, so this is how you actually get these bar charts over here on the right hand side. Now if I go back to the top, there is this another chart over here, and this is okay. We don't have to really get done with this at this point. You can actually ignore it for now. Okay, So all we need is, all these charts over here, all these tables over here, all this information, and this is how you create a new table and add this. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know and I will get back to you. Thank you.